right. And so, as a recap of what happened last time you guys had a session, it's been a while. Um, you all found yourself back in the Great Hall. You figured out a way to get through the door by replicating what Max had previously done, placing your hand on the door, eventually leading to the uh, hall that you believe Max said at some point was involving divination magic of some kind. It was the Hall of the Inevitable Path. From there, you followed kind of a emanating light, which took you to the dormitories, where you found something kind of weird. The dormitories weren't as you remembered them only a few minutes earlier. They were cleared of dead bodies, and although there were some markings and some blood splatter on the walls, the bodies were gone. You eventually sort of circled around the dormitories until you noticed a strange emanating light from one particular room. Uh, Opening that room, you found yourself in what you believe to be some kind of underdark play, like surroundings. Very strange. Um, you eventually did fight some Yeth hounds that were in the room, potentially guarding it, and figured out that it was some kind of an illusion magic that was creating the look of the Underdark. Within the room, after searching, you did find some notes and journals belonging to somebody named Sandiva. Um, one of the notes specifically that you found said the following. Within the Life Force Hall, along the eastern wall, a secret call just asked and then it was completely kind of scratched out on the last word. Beyond that, you also found a journal which tied the owner to Sandiva, written on the back. Uh, and mostly within the journal, there were some class notes, but it was largely documenting somebody named Firadina Canestep. Um, Her dormitory number, a few random numbers, timing of when she had classes, um, and you know Faradina Canestep from a long time ago. Flickerwisp had talked about her as being a wand maker that he was learning certain things from while he was in town months ago. And of course, you saw her in the hallways before this whole split of the group happened. Um, or you think you did. It could have been a doppelganger or somebody looking like Faradina Canestep. With that being said, you guys did eventually communicate with her, seeing a tied up uh, woman across the courtyard in a different room, and found your way to that room where this person, potentially Faradina Canestep, was being held captive. From there, you cautiously approached, asking certain questions, and eventually did loosen the manacles that were holding her hand and keeping her from casting magic. So, we'll start from there. What are you guys doing? She's calmed now that her hands are free. She's not currently casting any kind of spell.
So, per my last note, pleasure room. I'm in the room. On the other side of the dormitory. Also,
Hey, Dolphier, your audio is like clipping in and out for some reason.
I'm having to use.
Okay. It might just be the screen, you know how it does the voice volume screening.
Yeah, but they removed a lot of the settings from.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh, Yeah, I'm only getting like every third word right now. Me man, are you also only getting like every third word?
Yeah, he was cutting in and out. It was.
Okay.
There were moments where it was like fine when he first logged on, but like I think when he talks for a long time, it does cut in and out.
Gotcha. Let's see if he has more luck when he logs back in.
So there was a couple things I just wanted to confirm. We went into the room that was whatchamacallit, it was the room that would look like the Underdark. We fought the things, and then we went across the way to find this lady.
Yeah, you basically, once you fought through the illusion magic, you did see through a window that there was someone being held captive in a different room of the dormitories across a courtyard. And Modolfir basically was able to use one of his special innate capabilities to talk with the person and get over to her.
And the room that we were in, the note we found from whoever the stalker person was, Sardinia or whatever, that was the guy that she said captured her.
She did. That's what popped up in the group chat, is that she mentioned basically that she was kidnapped by him and two of his goonish friends who took all of her wands.
And the room that she's in, they took her to like a random room. It's not her room. It's not his room, but it's like a random room, somebody else's room.
Correct. That's what she told you when you guys were messaging back and forth. Well, specifically to Modolfir. So, Modolfir, let's hear your audio now. Oh, you are chipmunky, but we can hear you, but you're chipmunky.
I mean, as long as we can understand them, let it ride.
It is me,
What
man.
about now?
Perfect.
No more chipmunk?
No more chipmunk.
Okay.
All right.
All
right, what were you asking?
Per my last saying, tell her about what we encountered in the room and also about our encounter with Doppelganger her.
She thinks about that for a moment, and she removes the remainder of the manacles as she's talking, and starts untying the bits and legs as she's speaking with you. Some sort of major illusion, perhaps. Sandiva's not very well known for creating such magic. He mostly focuses on other pursuits.
No.
Necromancy.
Explain to her that it's likely that the creature we encountered. Oh wait, no, she's saying Sandiva. My bad. Go on. I'm sorry.
Sandiva does know how to call upon monsters from other planes. I know he knows that magic. Although Yeth hounds are not necessarily from another plane, I suppose. And you say his room was just like an Underdark. Maybe he was feeling homesick. He is the only drow who attends the Planetum. It's not usual for people of his race to be on the surface, of course.
Listen, at this point, we have to assume that the person you know as Sandiva and the person that is walking around as Sandiva are not the same creature.
Well, she kind of smirks, and for the first time, she kind of. Do you allow her to stand up?
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't restraining her from moving at all.
Okay. So she stands up, so you get an image of what she looks like. She's kind of young, red-haired, wizard, I don't know what the female form of wizard is. I think it's just female wizard. Wizardress. Um, and she kind of smirks and she goes, well, me and Sandiva have always kind of had a, let's say, confrontational uh, nature to our relationships. Uh, he's kind of an asshole, anyways. So I wouldn't be so shocked if he's. And then she looks behind you and she sees the sort of blood on the walls of the dormitory, and her face kind of goes a little bit more pale now from like, oh, this is like some sort of prank or something. And then she goes, oh my god, what have they done?
I would say, listen, just to be clear, the entire town is under attack from some very nasty people. The Planetum is actively a battleground. This is not a good time.
We need to find the archmages.
Well, I think the necromancy archmage is part of the problem, isn't he? Like that was the last thing we got. Is
Yeah.
Who told you that?
I can't remember. What would I would have remembered because we just happened. But who gave us that? Sandiva?
No, I think didn't we get like some kind of mostly cut off message through the sending stones from the Acer Magica guys?
They did state that the Archmage of Necromancy was not out in the courtyard fighting these beings that were blocking the doorways of the Planetum. The name of the Archmage of the Necromancy is Darback Revinlia.
I thought we got something else. Me-Man's correct. I thought we found something else that kind of links the necromancy archmage as part of the problem.
Well, as you're speaking, Ferradina's like, and you tell her about sort of the undead and things like that. She goes, in terms of necromancers within the city, there's certainly none more powerful than Darback Revinlia. The boneyard that you're speaking of, however, I think even he would not be able to bring such a being to life. But he's always, he's been a bit strange and all, but he's not the kind of person that would do this, I don't think. Max would know better. He's, part of the necromancy school. I'm not.
I thought that there was this thing where we had that he was leading a group of people to kill people in my memory, which has been a while.
Yeah, I'm with Me-Man on this one. I thought we found something that was like indelible proof that he was leading the fight against the Planetum.
Ferradina seems like very surprised by this, and
sorry, that's like out of character speak is what I'm talking to you as GM.
Yeah, I mean, you guys believe that. You received that through secondhand information, but that was what was stated. It was mostly because of the suspicion of him not being there and the knowledge that there were beings inside the Planetum who had taken it over. The only other archmage that is not currently in the school, and this is being told to you by Ferradina, is Archmage Molokotis. And I will write that down. He is the Archmage of the Conjuration School. He was sent off to Dorythia, specifically Bohemia, to deal with matters that were arising in Bohemia of concern to the royal family there. As the most knowledgeable person within the Terthian Empire of conjuration magic, he was selected for that mission. The note came, it was kind of cryptic. The note came, the seal was somewhat broken on it, on the message that he received. And some people were a bit suspicious of it, but in order to address the concern, which was a grave concern, he did leave for Bohemia. That there were lots of rumors, and it spread around all the sort of students at the school as to what the actual issue was. So it was well discussed. Faradina just tells you that. So all the other archmages are outside fighting some kind of undead beings, and we are stuck in here. Are we stuck? Can we get out?
We've made our way around the insides of this, but there were two others that were part of our group. We all went into the same door chasing what we thought was the creature that we thought was you originally. Me-Man and I appeared in one room. Our companions did not. So
do you tell her it was from the dormitories?
yeah, I mean, yeah, give her all the details. I'm not trying to hold anything from her.
Got it. She looks puzzled. A portal within the dormitory would be very strange. There are no portals in the dormitories. There's a portal into the dormitory, but the exit from the dormitory is simple enough. So that is strange.
It's also strange that of the three of us, you're the only mage, yet somehow you have the least comfort with the level of magic we're describing.
Yes, well, the Planetome has certain wards and protections in place that would stop this kind of thing. And that is what I'm most concerned about. Also, as I was kidnapped, now that I'm getting my bearings, we moved much further than simply staying within the dormitory. And she starts, are you allowing her to go out into the hallway?
I do mention you are aware that the Planetome probably also had wards that prevented undead creatures from roaming the halls and killing the students, but we've definitely seen a cubit but kind of dead students, so it's not necessarily safe for you to walk around the halls. You are in a war zone, right? It's not like a school trip.
She looks around the hallway and she goes, yes, we'll need to be careful, of course. But we do need to leave the dormitories if we're going to figure out what's going on. So, shall we?
I kind of want to find the rest of our party, because as far as I can tell, those are the only people I can trust.
She thinks for a moment. She knows Max quite well. Well, if I were Max, I think I would go to the library. The library connects to all the different Archmage chambers. So he's probably, wherever he's gone, hopefully still around, probably trying to make it there.
Then perhaps we should head that way and see if he has made it.
That's what I'm thinking as well. And with that, she starts leading the way, but then kind of looking back over her shoulder and says, well, I don't have any of my wands. I do have some of my, obviously, I know some magic wands. But and she points to Yume Man. Yes, that weapon could do quite well, and looks at you, Midolfir. Are both of those magic weapons by any chance?
Mine is.
Mine is not.
Okay. She goes, well, I can certainly solve that. And she walks up to you, Mayman, and she casts greater magic weapon, which will last 7 hours. And she says, well, that should do in case we run across any undead. And I assume you know how to swing that?
A little.
Okay. Terrific. So now you have a +2 on your, let's see, which weapon would you have been holding up?
The heavy flail. It's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind there's a +2 on that for any time there's an attack of any kind. With that, she starts walking down the hallways. You guys are following behind her, or are you trying to like jockey in front of her in the hallway?
I'm gonna follow behind her because if she knows, she knows the wards and stuff that may be up. So
Okay.
And I'll be behind Morgan Fear.
Okay. She walks through the hallways. She turns a particular direction, and then she looks down the hallway, and then she looks back. And then she doubles up on the way she was walking and starts walking back the way that you guys were coming from. And she says, "That's strange. Am I lost here?" And continues walking.
Follow her for now, I guess.
She gets to the end of a hallway, and it's a dead end hallway. And she looks back to you two. Okay, slight problem. Now, you two don't quite look like magic-y types. You're not really the Planetum type. Neither of you know magic very well, yes?
Yeah, you might say that.
Okay. She pulls out like a little magical board from her bag of holding. It's almost like a chalkboard, and she takes out a piece of chalk and she like dabs a little bit and starts writing on the chalkboard. She starts drawing a picture of the Planetum. Now, this is how the Planetum works, and she starts describing all these different portals that connect the components of the Planetum together, which, obviously is much larger than what you see on the exterior of the building. What's the will save for?
So I was gonna wait till you got done talking. As we're standing here in the hallway, like at the dead end, Medulfer's kind of got the sense that things aren't as they should be. So he's actively trying to disbelieve what he sees around him. Like,
excellent.
Yeah.
Yes. Unlike in the room, when you start being like, none of this is real, man, nothing comes to your vision. You don't see through any kind of veil.
Okay.
As you touch the walls, they feel real. She goes, yes, well, it is all real. The problem here is, and she draws out the map, is that we're not here. And she points to the picture of the Planetum that she's drawn. She says, we're not here, and she starts Xing out the different spaces of the Planetum. And she looks at me, man, she goes, do you understand? I don't know about your friend, but you're understanding what I'm saying, right?
I think you're saying you're lost.
Well, I don't get lost. Not here. I know this place like the back of my hand. What I'm saying is we're not at the Planetum right now.
So let me get this straight. We were in Sandiva's quarters, clearly Sandiva's quarters, and we walked over to see you, and we're not in the Planetum. So Sandiva was staying outside the Planetum?
That is what I'm saying, yes. I don't know what that room was. As you describe it, it sounds like Sandiva's room. However, it must be a replica. And yes, Sandiva, for some reason, must be spending time there if he has personal belongings there.
Hey, so backing up, Meeman, when we ran through the doorway, chasing Doppelganger Faradina, we appeared. What room? Okay, GM. If we that was in the dormitory where we ran through the doorway.
Correct. Dormitory filled with dead bodies all over.
Kim, was there a descriptor like if I tell Faradina, hey, we were chasing after Doppelganger U, who went into a particular door. I pretty much destroyed the door with my sword, trying to attack Doppelganger her, because I knew. And then there was a darkness beyond the door. We all went in. We appeared separately in different areas. Can we get back to that doorway, the one that would have been the one we went through in this place?
How interesting.
The other thing I'll point out is like the other place we could go is, remember, we did come from the front. We made a decision not to go out the front door where we heard all the fighting and to go deeper into the dormitories to find our friends. We could try to go outside again.
That could be a good idea. Let me ask you something. Now, I know that Max has a particular penchant for will. He's a strong-willed person. The two of you, describe yourself. Do you have a lot of internal willpower within you?
I'm going to say, well, not to brag, but of our party, I was the only one that regularly withstood the mental barrage of a group of mind flayers we fought.
That would imply that you do have substantial willpower. But she kind of like eyes you up. And yet, I don't see in you the kind of ferocity that Max carries. It is possible that someone has booby-trapped a kind of portal, a teleportation portal, that has brought you, and she points to Mayman and you, through to another place, but that did not affect the rest of your party. And she continues walking around the dormitories.
What if this is a place that Sandiva created? I know wizards who have created like pockets of reality.
Yes, demiplanes.
Could it be that this is a demiplane meant to look like the Planetum, but is not the Planetum?
She kind of like scoffs a little bit. Sandiva is, he's pretty good at necromantic magic, but to be able to create a demiplane would take, let's just put it this way, being one of the most powerful mages in the world.
So,
but we don't even know we're dealing with Sandiva unless you're telling me Sandiva is a doppelganger. I feel like we're wasting time. We need to just go somewhere, whether it's outside or back to where we started. We need to go. We can talk on the way, but our friends don't have any frontliners right now. They're all going to get pushed.
Agreed. We do need to reconvene with them immediately. What I was going to say is, although Sandiva or whoever his party is does not necessarily possess the ability to cast a Genesis spell, there is a magic item here within the Planetum, or wherever the Planetum is, that could do that. A particular item named the, and she thinks for a moment, the Genesis Globe. Ironically enough, the Genesis Globe is well protected within the private chambers of one Archmage Molokotis, the Conjuration Archmage. It is possible that someone has stolen that object and begun creating this demiplane that we may currently find ourselves in.
doesn't it then seem a little odd that that person was whisked away from the Planetum?
Yes, there a lot of people were suspicious of that, and if it weren't for the push of Archmage Revanleia, the other Archmages may have rejected the request from Bohemia.
GM,
Yes.
how much of uh, Finn's life and the stuff he saw would Maimon know? Like, could I talk to an event that I think happened to the party before Maimon was in the party?
I think you've gotten familiar enough with the party, and certain people talk, like Max talks all about the adventures all the time and history, so I think you know about it. What thing do you want to talk about?
So there was a point where Finn was scrying on Lady Veladrake.
Mhm.
She was in Bohemia at the time on her, correct?
Yes, you've seen her all over, including on Shadowrick, but at one point she was where you believe in the hills of Bohemia.
I will just say, modal fear, Veladrake was in Bohemia too, not just um, Molokitis.
Yeah.
Yes, we often and look kind of look side eye at him, kind of like sad. Yes, we often peeked in on her, and she was in different places all the time. By the way, we never. Hold on, I'm like Midolfer's gonna be like, oh, we also found this note because we never told Faradina about the little note with the little poem on it within a life force hall along the eastern wall.
She goes, that's interesting. Yes, we should go there because here's where I'm at. I was brought into this, bound and blindfolded, into this plane. You all obviously came through that portal, perhaps, but also Sandiva has been here, which implies that there is a way in and out of the plane, and perhaps that note is the key.
Do you know what that last word might be?
Seems like someone wanted to rhyme something there. I don't know why they're being so playful, but perhaps when we get there, we will determine. Unfortunately, that is the Hall of Necromancy, so we should be prepared for anything.
Then lead the way.
She says, well, I will try. And she does a double back. And as she goes now, instead of going towards where she thought the Great Hall was in order to get over to the library, she makes a turn. And she seems like pleased that, okay, this is looking like it's supposed to. And eventually she goes through that um, Hall of the Inevitable Path, kind of a confluence point, this hemisphere kind of room, like a planetarium. And off to one angle, she says, yes, it's through there. Mm, Perhaps ready your weapons, and I'll lead the way through, just in case there's any arcane traps. You guys ready your weapons?
Oh, my weapon is always ready, GM.
Okay. You enter through it with her, she leading the way. Nothing happens. And you enter into a room. Um, it looks like a small library. And around it, you can see these various kind of bits of flesh that were used for grafting studies, little bits of like bone that were used to see how animate could work. Um, she looks around and she says, all very normal. Max has studied these things. These are general classes, even though they're kind of icky. Um, Everything in here looks kind of normal. And then she asks you to reread the note again. Which do you do so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The
Unless,
eastern
yeah.
wall. She kind of points towards the eastern wall. It's a series of bookshelves.
So, is there anything in the bookshelf that rhymes with call, hall, and wall?
Well, tell me what you're searching for.
Is there a ball on the wall?
Search for a ball. Everyone search for a ball. Give me a search check. Pretty good. You exhaust the wall and find no ball. For the most part,
I see what you did there, GM.
indeed.
Dr. Seuss would be proud.
You find a series of books all about various kinds of necromantic study. You find those same kind of like bits and bobs of flesh. There's some bones, all sorts of different kinds of bones: femur bone, finger bones. Name a bone. There's bones on there. There's no balls on the wall. Books and bones.
So I mean, I can't look at me, man. Kind of like just whispering to him because I don't, it's like I guess something like not something I want everybody in the room to know. Be like, hey, me, man, can you read?
I mean, yeah, but I'm terrible at rhyming, so I have no idea what I'm doing.
No,
Yep.
but the names of the books, are there any of them that rhyme with this one word?
I begin to read the names of the books out loud.
Okay. Yeah, you read A Beginner's Guide to Grafting. You read Conjurations of the Dead. You see The Protectorate Skull. You see a book called Elongating the Bones of the Undead. No, I mean, there's some that you find and that could theoretically rhyme with it. That book about the Protectorate Skull, you kind of pick that book up. It kind of does nothing. It's sitting there.
So out of character, a little too meta, but like, I don't know. I can't. I'm not going to say anything because my character wouldn't know. But yeah.
What else besides books are there?
Just bones, various bones. There's a jawbone by itself. There's femurs, every kind of bone that you could name, along with the books.
Oh man. Like I think I know what it is, but Madolfer would have no fucking clue. So
Give me an intelligence check. I'll allow, as long as it's above 5, I'll allow player to come into play. Okay, yeah, Madolfer.
What
You don't know. Jesus, that was a natural 1. B-Man, it's up to you.
that was comically timed roll there.
Yeah, that was bad.
So I asked whatever her name is, Ferdina, and I'm like, so what all could we ask if it's has to rhyme with all?
She looks around and she says, perhaps that book about the skull? I don't know what we're supposed to ask a book, though.
I take that book and I start to read it. What is it about?
It's mostly arcana. It's hard to decipher, but you get the general gist that the spell that you are looking at that's created in this book would create a skull that would fly around, be sort of animated, and protect the person who created it. And she goes, well, there are skulls here also.
I'll just start asking the skulls, like, "Hey, can you help a brother out?" Like, I don't.
Okay. As you start walking down the series, there's different skulls all along. You speak to one, no response. Speak to another, they're skulls. You reach another skull, and as you start speaking, it goes, "What do you want?"
I point to the skull and I tell Ferdinand, "I think this is the one."
Ferradina comes up to the skull and she goes, uh, "Within the Life Force Hall along the eastern wall, a secret call. Just ask the skull." Kind of a slant rhyme, but Sandiva is kind of a moron, also. What do we ask him?
Can I make a call?
The skull kind of looks at you and goes, "Sure, what's the number?"
It's a secret.
The skull kind of quiets down. "If you have the number, let me know. Otherwise," and it goes quiet.
I think honestly have no clue. Maimon is probably just scratching his head.
Give me an intelligence check. Madolfir, you can retry. This is going to be a DC 10 intelligence check now. Just as a. Okay, no. It's down to Madolfir.
Sorry, hold on.
Yep. Okay. Now, nursery rhymes have always, entertained you, Madolfir. It's a secret. What do you call that? Guilty pleasure. Um, and this is, a skull that's talking. You remember Flickerwisp had promised you a protectorate skull at one point. Um, and then you remember, hey, there were numbers written in that journal that you guys found.
Okay, so I guess have the other two people here because I can't.
Yep.
Look through the journal and see if the number system in there makes sense.
Ferradina kind of grabs the journal out of your hand, and she's like, "What an asshole! He was following me around this whole time," and then starts flipping the pages. She starts blurting out random numbers, and the skull makes a raspberry noise, even though it has no tongue. So that's kind of interesting. But it does make like a when it's wrong. And eventually, she gets to the number 4488. And the skull starts to levitate up, and he reaches back behind him and looks, and his eyes start glowing, and the wall starts glowing with it, and the bookshelf starts to shift, and Fiordina kind of just looks at you two, and there's this kind of dark passageway behind the bookshelf.
Let's go. Let's go find our friends and help whoever needs to be helped.
All right. You step through, and behind you, the bookshelf closes. You wandered through the darkness, your dark vision helping. Mayman, also your dark vision helping.
I don't have dark vision. I think.
Oh. I thought you did.
Goliath, I think, have normal vision or low light. I don't think he has dark vision at all.
Okay, fair enough. You do eventually sort of guide your way, Fiordina touching the sort of walls until the space of the wall starts filtering away. as if the walls just don't exist anymore, and you're walking on dark clouds until you do start seeing a light emanating further ahead. And as you approach, you see a frightening sight. You have kind of a broken land in front of you that you can now see in the full light. There's nothing but emptiness around it. And up ahead, there's kind of this circular platform with columns that rise from it. And at the far end of that circular platform that's floating in ethereal nothingness, you see a glowing purple portal. And unfortunately, between yourselves and there, you can see some number of undead beings. Give me a spot check. Since everyone can now see in this level of light. I'll roll Ferradina's. Not particularly good. Mayman and Ferradina, you don't see anything other than a singular troll skeleton guarding the entrance of the portal. However, Modulfir, you see 4 other skeletons wearing armor around this circular platform that are also guarding this portal. They do not see you at this time. There is a 8-foot gap between where you all are standing now, which is almost like a sideways bookshelf that's laying on the ground, and this circular platform.
So just let them, say, I count. How many did you say?
You
6
count
total?
4 skeletal warriors of some sort carrying weapons and armor, and 1 troll skeleton.
So I count 5. You see any more?
Ferradina shakes her head.
I counted 1, so good job, dude.
Yes, it's quite hard to miss the big one.
So look over Ferradina. So how do we get from there to here? From here to there?
Well, I do possess some magics. I can cast Levitate and I can cast Jump, but I can't cast 3 things that'll get us across this platform. Do either of you have anything?
How wide is it to get from here to there?
Just between 7 and 8 feet. So it's, not a crazy jump to make, but the consequences could be lethal. As you look down, you see basically nothingness.
Wait, it's only like 8 feet across from where we're at to the platform where these creatures are?
That's right. So we could take a chance, or we could not take a chance.
So how many magics do you have?
I have 1 casting of Levitate and 1 casting of Jump.
So that could get you and Neiman across, yes?
Yes.
I mean, I could probably make that jump.
Oh, actually, she doesn't have Levitate. I apologize. She only has 2 castings of Jump.
So just GM jump would be what? Would that be like almost nothing for me, right?
If you had the Jump spell cast on you, essentially, this would be an automatic jump. There's no way you would fail it.
If I didn't have the jump, how hard would it be to make that jump without the spell if I took a run this time?
It would typically carry, with a 20-foot running start, a DC of 8. And of course, you might have penalties for armor, things like that.
I mean, I've got an 11 jump check, so
I've got a 6. I could probably make that jump, but if you've got these spells and they're burning a hole in your pocket, pick one of the two of us and then give one of us the jump and then yourself. And then let's do it.
She looks at Medolfir's armor and general sort of build and goes, yeah, I choose him to go ahead and try to jump by himself if you wish, Medolfir. Otherwise, you can stay here and we could try to figure out a way to cap it. But I can cast it on you, Mayman.
So I'm going to say, I'm going to jump in and draw their attention. Y'all come in behind once their attention is solely on me.
I'm just better looking. That's why she picked me, Medolfir. I tell you.
Fair enough.
Let's see here. Jump will have vocal and somatic. So, there will be talking done here. So there is a chance that somebody could hear as it's being cast. And it does take a standard action. So in order to do it twice, once on herself, once on you, Mayman, obviously it'll be a standard action. She looks at Medolfir and she goes, Medolfir, I appreciate that you wish to go first, but it may take me a moment. It may make more sense for me to at least cast once here, and then together we move on from there.
But the element of surprise may buy us a crucial advantage in this.
Yeah, I'm with you, Medolfir. If you jump at the same time she casts it on me, then I can jump immediately after. And then honestly, as long as you can cast spells or help us from here, there's no reason for you to jump until the end of the battle. I don't know why you would want to be on that platform if we're throwing things around.
I guess let's do that then. My thought was just like draw their attention to me while y'all do that, and they're focused on me and not focused on trying to prevent the casting or trying to prevent anyone from jumping across at that point, right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Oh, I was just agreeing. My thing was you would jump, so mechanically, surprise round, you would jump over, do the things that you need to do. She would cast on me, then I could jump over, and then she's stuck on this platform. She can cast jump on herself the next turn. She can stop lobbing fireballs, like whatever the hell she wants to do. I don't think she needs to be on the platform with us.
Yeah. No. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She doesn't necessarily need to come over right now, for sure. So
she agrees with that. She says, okay, yes, I have some capabilities of range.
It'd be easier to protect you if you weren't on the platform. So let's just go with this unless if you're okay. And then Medolfir, if you're causing a ruckus, I'll come in later and help you after that.
All right. So there's my jump check for whenever we kick this off.
Okay, so she is going to cast jump simultaneous with you doing this, as long as that's okay. So that there's no delay.
Okay.
All right, hold 1 second. I need to do some listening.
Well, we would, if that's the case, though, Medolfir would be in the air when she's talking. So it's not like they can listen for her and see Medolfir. He'll be well in the air. Like,
Yeah.
Well, just to let him get a surprise round, right?
Understood. Yes, they would not react either way. This is bang bang happening. So with your check, there's no issue. You are across the platform. Let me do 5 listen checks real quick. Okay. And 2 more. Okay. She does begin casting jump on you, Mayman. Medolfir, you jump across easily, beyond easily. You actually out-jump what you were planning to do as you step back and take a running jump. You end up well into the center of this platform.
That's good.
I will say with that jump check, you still can move, but you are not within 5 feet of anyone to attack anyone. There are 4 skeletons kind of standing sentry out in front of you. They are not aware of you at this moment, nor is the troll skeleton. It has happened so quickly that you do have a bit of a surprise. Actually, let me double check something. You may have actually been able to jump all the way to one of them. No. Yeah, you're still like 15 to 10 feet away from being able to attack any of them.
What about doing a charge attack? Would I be able to actually do an attack against any of them this round?
Because of how good your jump check was, I will say that you are able to continue your movement beyond the 17 feet for your maximum distance, which would be what? What's your distance movement?
What am I, 30?
Yes, you are 30. So I'll call that 15 feet what you've done. So you have another 15 feet of movement. You could attack one of the skeletons that is on the left wing with a charge attack right now.
Okay, so perceptually, there's nothing beyond the edge of this platform.
Yeah, it is weird as hell. When you jumped over it, there was a gravitational pull, but there was nothingness. You saw almost like stars floating in space. Celestial objects. That was all you saw.
And I would be moving from the center of this platform towards the outside when I'm moving towards that skeleton, right?
You'd be moving, let's say, from 7 o'clock on a clock to 10 o'clock on a clock. And I will share a battle map at some point.
And they're more like on the outside edge of this platform, right? The skeletons?
Yes, they're kind of guarding, let's say, the portal, which is at 12 o'clock, but not directly off the platform. There's kind of a little bit of a walkway and stairs before you get to the portal.
There's nothing on the side, though, no barrier. So, like, potentially I could, if I were so inclined, try to rush and shove the skeleton out into the void.
You could try. That would be a bull rush, which I will link in here the way that would work in terms of the mechanics. Let me see. Would you be able to do that in this round as a standard action or part of a charge? So yes, you would be able to attempt that. Of course, if that goes poorly, you also might be falling off this platform. There is always, with any one of those attacks, the chance of a total failure, just like a total success. So it's up to you.
Okay, no, I'm just going to do a rush attack, charge attack.
Okay. Let me actually pull you guys now because it'll make things simpler.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Mayman, you would be able to. She has cast jump on you now, so you could, if you have an ability with a swift action, use that right now in this round of surprise.
Okay, and then the roll will determine how far I go.
Yes, exactly. If you wish to like do it as far as you can, yes. So you're getting a plus 20 on your jump check right now. Okay. So you can choose to go up to 40 feet or less, wherever you wish. But you can go as quickly as 40 feet or as far as 40 feet with this swift action, which is awesome.
I mean, I can go here.
Yeah.
I can't quite get to that guy on the right, but I can get to this guy here.
Correct.
I will go. If I jump, can I take a 5-foot step? After
No, because technically the 5-foot step is a swift action, so you're already utilizing that with the sudden leap.
what is happening to my buttons?
That I don't know. There you go.
I won't jump there. I don't know if he gets an attack of opportunity because he's surprised, but I technically jumping into an attack range does do that, I think.
He is surprised. So he is not one of the ones that overheard the spell casting. The one that overheard it was the troll skeleton and this one. The other three are completely by surprise right now. But keep in mind, because of the bang bang nature, so the real way this happened is Mudolphir jumps. She is casting as a standard action, which is equivalent to Mudolphir's jump. So bang bang at the same time there. You are using a swift action now that the spell is on you. So you still have a standard action available to you because you basically had to kind of have like a 3-second delay while all this was bang banging, but you still have one standard action, as does Mudolphir. So Mudolphir, I guess you first. What are you doing with your remaining standard action?
Charge attack.
Okay. With that 17, did you already add in the bonus for charge?
It's a check that you can
Okay.
toggle in the attack window. So yes.
Yes. Okay. You rush ahead to charge at this skeleton, and in your sort of, bang bang, everything happening so quickly, trying to get the most of this surprise attack, you actually miss and scrape the column behind him. So that is your attempt. Mayman, you still have one.
So the difference between swift and free actions is you only get one swift action around. Is that true?
Yes, that's how. Unless you have a capability that that increases that. But yes, one swift action.
No, it's fine. I just can't get into a stance. Is the consequence? I just need to know that.
Bingo.
Just going to attack the guy in front of me.
Okay, and remember to use +2 on your bonus for both damage and for attack. Okay. And only the first one would work, actually, because it wouldn't be a full attack. It would just be one standard attack. With that, the 27 does strike. You strike forth with 14 points of damage, which do fully take damage onto him because you are using a magical enhanced weapon. And it's also bludgeoning too, right?
Yes. A mace is bludgeoning.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have mattered actually, technically, but the +2 always helps. Okay. With that, the two that were starting to be aware from the listen check are going to move. This one's going to move to there, and this one is going to move just to there. Right there. Okay. And with that, please roll initiative. And I need Firadina. Okay. Begin combat. Firadina is at the top. Let's get some battle music going. Okay. So she is going to. I did not expect her to be the first to act. She got a very good roll. She's going to go ahead and use. Let's see. She's got a few of those left. She's going to use Peace Bond Let's see. It's got a decent range to it, but is it too far for her?
Isn't that like a financial investment?
Not quite. Let's see. She gets 15 feet. Now everything's out of her range from here for that. She's going to move to the edge right there. Yes, indeed. From here, she's going to try. Oh, man, all of her spells have such short range. Yeah, I was not expecting that. Ironically, because I created this map. Let's see. She is going to attempt. Does this have a short range? Yes.
She can also hold her action, right? Like she can wait until the end.
She can, yes. I think she is going to do that exactly. She's going to take a little bit closer of a step and hold her action to see. So she's going to actually hold it, not change positions with anybody. So now it is. One second. Okay. This warrior here is going to now kind of try to swarm you all. Skeletons are pretty dumb. He's going to come up and he is going to attempt to attack with a masterwork. Sorry, he's not going to come that close. He's going to go to there. And you see in his hand, he has a Greylandier, which is a reach weapon. And he is going to attempt to attack you with that. Mayman is who he's attacking. That ain't going to do shit. With that, he does not get another attempt. So that is his turn. Modolfir, it is your turn.
And a 5-foot step.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ham here. I'm going to do one attack and then one attack. So I just want to see what happens. So first attack is going to be on the target, the skeleton that I originally rushed toward.
Yep. Okay. 34 to hit, obviously, is going to hit. As you strike, the skeleton collapses from your strike from Bengrafil. Its bones crushed from the middle of its body, and it collapses down. And as it strikes this little platform, it explodes into a powdery dust of ashy material, almost like it had been cremated and crushed. It is no longer on the map.
You're saying the skeleton is no longer on the map?
Correct. It
Okay.
has disappeared.
Okay. And so the next swing is going to go to the guy who attacked Mima with the Greylandier.
Okay, make sure you do a -5 on this one.
And yes, that is with a -5.
Okay. I'm just checking one thing. Do you get 3 attacks or just 2 on your turn?
Only 2.
Oh, yeah, you have a base attack of 10. Okay. Yes, that one also obviously does strike for 18 points of damage. He is still standing. And he kind of the skeleton just has these red glowing eyes and it opens its jaw up as your sword strikes its ribcage. It does crush some of the ribs, but it is still standing.
All right.
I believe that is your turn.
Yep.
Okay, the one to the right of Mayman is going to take let me see. Yeah, it's going to take a 5-foot step this direction. And then it is going to try to strike out with its own Greylandier. Let me roll that. 17 plus. So that is a 19 to hit.
My AC is 18, so that hits me.
Okay. You take 2d4 plus 5. So that's a 3, 7. You take 12 points of damage from the Greylandier.
I am not looking at.
Okay. That is his entire turn. The troll skeleton now is going to. Oh, interesting. I need to fix your token, Mayman. Your resources aren't displayed for everyone. There we go. Now everyone can see it.
There's not a lot to display right now.
Indeed. The troll skeleton is going to come up and attack with a full attack of claws and biting Madolfir. So, full attack. This is going to be 3 attacks, 2 claws and a bite. So that's going to be a 22 to hit, 18 to hit, and 22 to hit.
All hit.
Okay. You take 11 points of damage, reduced to 9. You take 9 points of damage, reduced to 7. So that's 16 total. And then you take 9 points from the bite, reduced to 7. So that's 23 points of damage. Let me see if he has any rending or anything like that that happens. Nope. Just a really mean base attack.
Did he step more than 5 feet, or was it just?
Oh. He did move 10 feet. So, no, great catch. Madolfir, you only take that first one. So instead of 23 points of damage, you take only 9 points of damage. Thank you, Mayman, for catching that. All right. That is its turn. This skeleton now will charge up to here and attempt to strike Mayman, Greylandier. 23 to hit for 8 points of damage. I believe that does strike you.
Yep.
Hanging on barely. But it is now your turn.
How did you lose so much health?
He is weak compared to the rest of you.
I keep rolling 2s for HP. Is the joke, but I started this battle at 22 HP. The first hit took 12. The second hit took 8. So I'm at 2.
Yep. So
Damn.
with that, it is your turn, Mayman. Are you going to address the issue, or what are you doing? I can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should have addressed it before this battle, but I will take a 5-foot step.
Honestly, if I would have known you're that low on health, I would have argued against you jumping onto this platform.
Yep. Okay, you are out of range for any attacks of opportunity. You're doing cure light wounds, as opposed to you do have a potion also.
That's all I have. I don't think I have a potion.
Yeah, you do. You were given one by the cleric. If you want to change, if that changes your opinion on anything.
I mean, you only did a 5-foot step, so couldn't he do both?
You could actually. You could do the casting as the standard action, and you could take the potion as your part of your move. Okay. Not the best roll on that, but you do gain back 17 points of health total. And you are now in a stone foot stance. Okay, that is your full turn. Firadina goes nuts to this. Am I within range of anyone? And she kind of starts like doing a little bit of trigonometry in her head. And she spots one that she can strike. And she casts Scorching Ray towards the one closest to her. And that is going to be... So that is a 17 to hit against touch AC, which is fine. And that is... both of those strike for 29 points of damage. Next to you, Mayman, the one that had tried to, or I think it did successfully strike you with the Greyland Deer before, erupts into flames as the Scorching Ray bursts through the center of its body, and it immediately, in the air, all of its bones incinerate and turn into dust. It poofs and disappears completely. She yells out, "These beings are conjurations of some sort. They've been brought from elsewhere." That is her action. She's going to take. She's going to move 20 feet back away from the platform as if she's preparing to jump. And that is her turn. This skeleton is going to reach out with a claw attack against you, Medolfir, the one that's directly to your north. 16 to hit. Does that hit?
It does. I'm 16
Okay.
AC. Well, I'm 16 AC, so I'm not sure who wins that
Yeah,
tie.
it goes to the attacker if it
Okay.
is the DC or is the AC. Let's see. So that is one of its attacks. It's going to attack with its other claw also. I'm just making sure it doesn't have anything. No, that's more like a ghoul instead. So here's the second claw attack. That one definitely also hits. And it crits. So you take a total of 4 points from the first one and 11 points from the second, so 15 points of damage.
I'm offended by that.
Noted, Mayman. Yeah, that was a big strike. GM is rolling good today. Medolfir, it is your turn now to get revenge.
I'm going to give him a cross-eyed look like, this son of a bitch.
He just kind of cackles and goes, "Stay salty," but in infernal.
Well played. Well played. One attack.
All right. That is 20 to hit. Yeah, that'll do. As you strike through, you're attacking the one to the north, right? That hit you?
Yeah, on my first swing, yes.
Okay. As you strike through with Bengrafil, once again, the bones erupt as if being struck by a bludgeoning weapon, and as they erupt, they turn into absolute dust in front of you. Not only does he collapse, but his presence is no longer here. That is your first attack.
I'm going to follow through on my second attack and swing at the big guy.
Okay. The troll skeleton, has is much easier to strike than the others. As you swing through, that one does make contact, cracking against its hip bone for 20 points of damage. He is still standing.
And then I'm going to 5-foot step and put myself right where I'm at.
Okay, noted. That is your turn. It is now the troll skeleton's turn, and he looks mad. He is going to do a full attack this time on you, Medolfir. I think all of those hit.
They do.
So 5, 10, 7, That is 22 points of damage against you, Midolfir. You can feel inside of you as each one of those strike, just that little like palpitation inside of you. That is its turn. It's not going to... Actually, it is going to take a 5-foot step just over like this. That is its turn. This skeleton is going to attack you mindlessly in front of it. First one, second one.
Yeah, neither hit.
It throws down its Greyland deer and just tries to claw at you madly. But in its rush to strike, it does not strike you. It is going to also take a 5-foot step like that. But it no longer has a Greyland deer in its hands. Mayman, you are feeling a little bit recuperated. What are you doing? Midolfir looks like he's a little bit cornered as well for once.
I will take a 5-foot step.
Okay.
I have to read something. Give me a second.
Sure. Your Stonefoot stance, is it gone now that you've moved?
No, I can move up to 5 feet.
Okay.
If I move more than 5 feet for any reason, then it goes away. Or I could. It's a swift. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And it's a swift action to return it anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah, but I'm not. I need that swift action.
Yep.
I am going to use this as my swift action
Okay.
for modal fear.
So, you want to describe what Midolfir can do?
Yeah, I mean we've done this before. So this and he goes right after me in the initiative order, so he gets another turn. But since that's a swift action, I still get to take a full attack on, I guess, the skeleton behind me or to the right of me.
So, Midolfir, this trick basically makes it so that you get this like extra attack behind Mayman for this round.
It's a
Alright.
full attack round. Full attack action.
Yeah, I believe.
Let me read it. As normal, yeah.
I get. You can go.
Okay. So, yeah, Mayman goes first, though, Midolfir.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll let you keep that attack, though, afterwards. So, Mayman, what are you doing? Actually, you know what? That's fine. Yeah. Holy crap.
Does the first one hit the first guy twice with a crit?
Jesus Christ. Nice, dude.
You're targeting the smaller skeleton first? Amen?
Yes.
Okay. The crit does not confirm, but that's still 18 points of damage. And you added the +2 already to it, right?
Yes.
Okay. You strike with that heavy flail. It crushes bones. You see a half of its ribcage just broken away from it, but it is still standing. Are you taking the second strike against him also?
I mean, no, I would have hit the troll skeleton with the second one, I guess.
Okay. So you spin around as your flail with one motion strikes the skeleton to your bottom right, and as it continues swinging around, you bring it back around on the troll skeleton. That does crit confirm, and as it strikes the troll skeleton, it just rams right through its spine. The entire, it like a piece of scaffolding getting its critical bar taken away. The whole thing starts collapsing down as the skeleton falls apart. It is destroyed, and it does disappear from the map as well. Nicely done.
Very nice.
That leaves you, Medolfir, with this extra action that you have this round. I want you to re-roll just because it was out of action turn, and it would have given him some hints as to what you were about to do.
So the skeleton that's just below my token is still an actual combatant?
Yeah, it's the only combatant that you see left on this platform. Okay. Both of those strike. And as your sword swipes through, just like with the rest, the skeleton erupts into this kind of bone dust that's left on the platform. But there is no remains of the skeleton itself. All around you, you now see this thin layer of just ashy dust that is holding on this platform. But there are no further combatants. Fiorina calls back, "Are they all dead?"
Yeah, they're all dead.
Varg does make the jump. I forgot Varg was with you. Thank you, Adolfir.
You're welcome.
He does barely make the jump, though, so that was kind of risky.
Yeah. I was like, ooh.
All right. And Fiorina's going to try to make the jump. She's got pretty good jump skill, actually. She's an agile one. All right. She jumps across, and she just kind of barely makes it, not like you two, but she does make it across. And with that, she approaches you guys, looking at this portal, along with Varg, who she pets, and says, "Sorry, I didn't see you there." Well, this is either going to go very well for us or very poorly for us. So who wishes to test this out first?
I'll go. It doesn't matter. I don't think we have a lot more to give. So unless we can get to a place where we can get healed, it's not going to be a long fight for us.
Okay.
How many hit points do you have left?
I'm at 19.
All right, let Medolfir go. I mean, if there's damage that's going to come of this, I have a little more of a buffer than you do. I've got 30, so.
Okay, you'll go, and then I'll run after, and then actually, how about you go in between, and then I'll take the rear with Varg.
By in between, you mean let Fiorina go first?
No, you then Fiorina, me, and wherever you want to stick Varg, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Varg will go with you, and just telling he'll be kind of an indicator if there's something that happens to me, something bad happens to me. You'll see an obvious change in his demeanor. So
Fiorina, noticing how bloodied and bruised you are, even through the armor, hands you a potion of Cure Light Wounds, and she says, "I'm pretty good at defending myself with my magic. You need this more than I do." And she hands it over to you. To Mayman. So that's now in Mayman's inventory. Okay. With that. Oh, you're going to drink it right away? Okay, go for it.
Is that 1d8 plus something?
Light wounds is 1d8 plus 3 is the minimum that it was created with. So 8 more points to you. Not bad. Better than what that Cure Serious gave you. Okay. With that, the bloodied and bruised group, led by Medolfir, approach the portal. Medolfir, are you going through?
Take a step.
Okay.
Sword in hand, ready.
Okay. You take a step through, and you find yourself in a private chambers. It's very magey looking, lots of strange magica things you don't understand. And as the others come through, Varg, and then Faradina, and then finally Mayman, you do see Faradina's eyes open up, and she says, okay, I think we are out of the demiplane now. This space reminds me of the Archmage's chambers. Archmage and the Archmage would be Mullakotis. She goes, I believe we are now in Mullakotis' chamber.
This is the necromancer guy, right?
No, the Archmage of Conjuration, who's...
The conjuration. Okay.
Yeah, just for clarification, the Necromancy Archmage is Darbeck Rivenleia. She starts feeling around in the room, and she's like, nothing strange about this. Back to where we were talking, if I were Max, I would head to the library. The library is how you get to any of the Archmage's chambers.
Didn't she say that there was something that the conjuration archwizard had that allowed some type of action to occur?
So as you look around the room, you see this glass case in the center of the conjuration chamber. And it looks like a museum, like where you put like the masterpiece, and you could imagine all sorts of security focused on this piece, which is well lit. There's no places to hide. But there's nothing in the glass case. And Faradina kind of looks at you all and says, just as I suspected, someone has used the Archmage's Genesis globe. That must be where we just came from. Indeed, Mayman.
Okay, so the thing is not here.
Yes, the object is currently in use. And she kind of describes all the arcana behind it, and your eyes glaze over.
Okay. Anything else that looks like of immediate use laying around?
Give me a search check. This is, after all, a conjuration wizard's archchamber.
Ask her to look as well. Like, hey, you see any scrolls that might be beneficial?
Okay, good search by Mayman. I will roll hers. Let me see. She's not very good at searching. She rolled a 13 natural. So she's got a 17. She does lead the search, and I will say because she's familiar with what she's searching through, it does assist. So her DC is much less than you guys. She goes, well, we are in a conjuration's private chambers, conjurer's private chambers. I don't know if you know this, not being magical types, but conjuration magic is healing magic. And she starts rifling through various scrolls. No, don't know that one, don't know that one, don't know. Hey, Mayman, you're a divine caster from what I saw earlier, yes? You have some sort of god?
Sure, yes. I have a god.
That won't help then. Okay, I'm going to have to stay close by to you, but I could use this scroll, and she pulls out several scrolls of cure moderate wounds. There are 4 total that she finds in the papers of the Archmage. She holds one up and says, I'm not super good at this, so I would recommend we don't attempt to use these in the heat of battle. If you all are injured, I'd recommend we try to use it right now.
So the scrolls are for me to read or for her to read?
She's going to do it use magical device. They're not spells that she knows, but she can attempt to do it anyways. It'll be easier for her since you're a divine caster.
I mean, I do it instead of her.
Okay, so you accept doing it right now?
Yeah, I mean, just let me clarify. So we have these scrolls. She's going to read. I can read them right now outside of that and just cast them, right?
No, because these are created as arcane scrolls, not divine. So you can't use them without making a use magic device of 24.
Even if it's a divine spell that I know.
Yes, unfortunately, because this scroll is an arcane made scroll, you would essentially have to emulate a class feature, basically. So it would be a DC 20 followed by a DC 24.
But just use the scrolls on me, and Modal probably needs. And then if they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. Let's get healed up as much as we can before we go. That's my two.
Sounds good. She's going to attempt to do that on you first, Mayman. So she needs to make DC 24, and she has a plus 10 at least. So she needs a 14 or higher. Okay, first one is a 15. So you gain back with cure moderate wounds. Let's see. Cure moderate wounds. Oh, she only needed actually a 23. So that is 2d8 plus 5. So go ahead and roll 2d8 plus 5 and add that to you. Okay. So you gain back 11 points of health. She kind of looks at you and goes, are you feeling better now?
I'm pretty good. I think you need to use the rest on Modal Fear.
Okay. Hold 1 second. Now, the good news is I don't believe the scroll is damaged if she messes up. So it just wouldn't work. So she could just keep trying, even if she's failing. It just wouldn't be good to do it in middle of battle because she'd be using up turns. Okay. So, Madolfir, here's her roll. Okay. On the second roll, she does it. That is another 2d8 plus 5 to you, Madolfir. You want to go ahead and roll that? Okay, 15 points of health to you, Madolfir. She goes, okay, I've got 2 more. Shall we use them all up?
I could use at least one more.
Okay. Let's see how long it takes her. Oh, she got a nat 20 on the first one. So she goes, oh, I'm getting the hang of this. And she reads out the scroll again. So that's another 2d8 plus 5 to you, Madolfir. Nice, 17. Pretty close to the max. Oh, is it double healing on nat 20? No, that's not a thing. You tried to trick me, man. You almost had me.
You almost had the seed of doubt planted.
I bet there is a feat. Like, you took a bunch of those kind of healing feats with Finry. I bet there is one.
I
tried.
And I would imagine that would apply to cast spells, not scrolls.
True. Ones that I guess you have to hit with a ray or something.
Right.
All right. Final one. Who wants this last one, she says?
I think Modal Fear. I'm only 14 or 15 down from my max, so I don't know. I'm 38 of 53 for what it's worth.
That's about how much these are giving you.
I mean, I'm at 62. It's a little over 50% for me, but I'm sturdier as well. I've got some damage reduction, and I can rage to get a little extra bonus HP. We don't know what we're going up against. That HP is more critical for your survival than it is for mine right now.
I'm fine either way. If you want it to go to me, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I would say let it go to Mina.
Okay. She does so. First time fails. Second time success. So, it takes about a minute here where she's figuring this out. Go ahead and do a 2d8 plus 5 again for yourself, Mayman. Nice. You're fully healed.
They just keep going up. Look at that.
I know. Okay. She looks further in the Conjuration Wizard's room. Someone else has taken many of the potions that he would usually have here. Strange they would leave the scrolls. Perhaps they didn't look deep enough. Well, to the library then.
Let us be off. Let her lead the way, because she kind of, like I said, she knows her way around. She knows the wards that are in place. She knows any magic trickery that may be in effect.
Indeed. She kind of takes charge once again. Now that you all are in a space that she feels familiar, she opens the door out of the private chambers, and immediately as you do so, it's almost like you're pulled into a different room. It's like a flash of light, and then you're in this different space. And now you find yourself in the Hall of Conjuration. And she kind of smiles and she goes, it's good to be home again. And she starts walking towards a series of doors. Eventually, you all do make it to the Great Hall. And she sort of points out, now, if we are truly back in the Great Hall, the correct Great Hall, if we approach that door, and she points to one, and focus, it will take us towards the library. And so she approaches it. And are you guys still following behind her, or how do you want to do it?
So what is this she's approaching again? I'm sorry.
It's a doorway. This is going to be one of those portal doorways that she was trying to describe in that long map that she created. And essentially going through this one should lead to the series of rooms that go to the library.
Okay. Trust in the process.
Okay. She holds her breath. She kind of takes a big deep breath, kind of holds it, and then presses through. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and close the session. Unless you guys have anything that would have happened between where you were walking from the chambers to this point. You do, by the way, see these explosions and things happening still outside of the Great Hall windows. There is still a battle going on, even though it's been a few hours.
I can't think of anything that would have pulled Medulfer away from the task at hand, which is getting to where we are trying to head to.
Okay. She does mention, if we're meeting Max in the library is the only way to enter the necromantic hall, the Hall of the Life Force, now that we are here in the correct planetum.
Yep. So we're library bound then.
Just my lack of ability to remember names is pretty well documented at this point. But just so you know, the people in today's session were Ginny Weasley, who was with right? Bareback is the necromancer guy. I don't know what his name is. And Moloch is the conjurer guy. So that's
Nailed it.
That's
Absolutely nailed it. All right. So we'll pick up and see if Max is on the other side of the door waiting for you guys. And Lan, right? Of course. All right, guys. Good session. Have a good rest of your Sundays.
Absolutely, you too, man.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys.
Good night.